So tell us what you think are the most important factors in diversifying at the faculty level.
Okay, so this is a hard one. So in terms of factors, so going to be factors in how does one diversify at the faculty level. So I'd say in physics and engineering, a lot of it is the pool, making sure that there is a pool there, and also making sure that the search process is done so that the committee members are not just thinking about who comes to mind first. Because whether you are male or female, who comes to mind first is often male in these fields. Because it is the more typical kind of model, just because of the sheer numbers. And so having prescribed search guidelines, where one has to really identify everybody in the pool, identify the strongest candidates who are female or racial and ethnic minorities, and actually consider, why am I not including them in the pool if I'm not? So I think having very specific goals along the way in the search can help a lot. In terms of addressing the challenge of the pool, increasing the pool, that means we need to go back, right? Go back to high school. Actually, it starts, I think, at birth, okay, in terms of people's attitudes towards and their expectations towards what a person will do. But what we can influence is, at least here at Stanford, undergraduate, graduate, postdoc, and then into the faculty positions. So, for example, at the graduate level, I can speak more to physics, but I think it's very similar with engineering. We will get about 20% of our applicants will be female. We will usually accept more than 20% female and end up with less than 20%. Okay,
Right.
So to accepting more than 20%, basically we're not playing favorites with the females at all. We're just trying to make sure that we are not holding it against them that they are female.
Right.
So we end up with generally accepting more than are in the pool. Okay, but like I said, getting less.
Right.
Okay, so we've been trying to increase the packages that we offer to diversity candidates just to get them here.
Right.
And in terms of when I try to explain to my colleagues, why is it an issue if we have females are underrepresented in our own graduate class? I think most institutions, if you look at the faculty in any particular department, a group that is overrepresented is students who actually did their PhD in that department.
Right,
okay.
right.
Occasionally, a department might have like a blanket rule against hiring their own PhD, which I think is silly actually. Why are you bothering training your PhD if you would never hire them? But in departments that don't have a blanket rule like that, they often do end up with more professors who actually did a PhD there. I'm an example. Okay, I did my PhD here at Stanford. And it's partly because this person is much more of a known quantity.
Right.
So if our own graduate program is underrepresented in women, and we tend to have a propensity towards hiring our own graduate students at a higher rate than than in the overall pool, then we should make sure that we are actually including women in that pool. So that's a kind of a very one very stark way to kind of look at it.
Right.
So, and then also at the postdoc level, hiring women at the postdoc level, because they can also feed into faculty positions here or elsewhere. Generally a PhD or postdoc at Stanford will be highly valued elsewhere. So we have, I think, a very important role in training graduate students and postdocs.
Absolutely. You've given some really wonderful tips about how we can actually very concretely bring a lot of these ideas into the classroom. Are there other takeaways that you'd like to offer?
I'd say that the starting point, I think, always has to be that this has to be a priority
Yeah.
for the person. If it's not really a priority to do whatever you can to make sure that every student in your class has a chance of succeeding, then I think we will then end up with the students who are coming in already with the ammunition to kind of succeed, they will succeed in the STEM fields and the others won't. So I think it comes down to really caring about teaching.
Right.
Because if you don't put care into the teaching, I think the students that you're most likely to drop are the ones who are coming in with the least preparation or with the least confidence that often comes from the view that society has for their role. So I think actually just putting effort into to teaching can actually help a lot in terms of diversifying the students in the STEM fields.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Pat. It's been a pleasure. It's been very insightful to hear
Great.
about your experiences.
Yeah, well, thank you. This was a pleasure for me too.